Guys, so I'm totally ridiculously late getting a video posted tonight. My apologies. Means there's probably only going to be the one tonight, but I'll try and make up for it tomorrow and do a bunch, because I have a bunch of things I need to film for you guys. But anyway, it is late though, and I am tired, but I have time to film at least one and edit it and upload it and shit. So we'll do that. So, as it is Thursday, Throwback Thursday, that means it's time for another Remembering Forgotten Memories episode, and this one... oh god. Well, I mean, you read the title, you know the punchline, but I'm sure you want to know the story, so... The school that I went to, from kindergarten through 7th grade, would have included 8th, but that was the year that I transferred into public, but it was a private Catholic school, and we tended to do things a little differently from most of the public schools. Like, one thing in particular, we didn't have, like, a cafeteria, we didn't have, like, lunch you could buy every day. There was, like, one day a week for hot lunch, which was optional. You could buy it or you could bring your own, but most people opted to buy it because it was freaking good. And the first couple years that I went there, 2 of the weeks, actually, I take that back. When I first started going there, they alternated every other week with Pizza Hut, like those little personal-sized pizzas, and KFC, the little boxes with like 2 pieces of chicken, a biscuit, and I want to say probably mashed potatoes, something like that. Or maybe it was even corn on the cob. I don't freaking remember. It was a lot of years ago, you're asking me to remember. But first couple years, those were the 2 that it alternated back and forth between. Somewhere in there, they also added Togos, and they just did like 2 pizzas a month. Sorry, I have like glitter still on my face. And then eventually, they occasionally added hot dogs, which, ew, I was not a fan of those then. I'm even less of a fan now. And somewhere in there, they substituted out the hot dogs for burritos. And I don't know if these were from Taco Bell. I want to say they weren't because they were wrapped in silver foil. So I don't think they were from Taco Bell, but I don't know where they were from either. But regardless, and don't say Chipotle. Chipotle didn't exist yet, to the best of my knowledge, in like 1992. So, if it did, we didn't have it out here. But anyway, regardless, somehow, someway, at this point in my life, I had never, ever had a burrito. I didn't know what one was. I had never heard of one. This was going to be the first one I had ever eaten in my life. Should have been good. Instead, it turned into a nightmare, and probably why I'm not that wild on Mexican food as a result, because all I can think of is this every time I look at it. But, the way that our lunch area was set up, like, okay, so since we were at a private Catholic school, we had our school itself, there was the church over here, and in between the church and the school, there was also, I'm trying to think of what to call it without calling it out by name, but I don't know what else to really refer to it as, like a convention hall maybe? I don't know, but there was a hall building in the middle there, and that was where we did hot lunch at. But in the courtyard of the school was where we actually ate the lunches, and our school was just like one big rectangular block. And living where we live, so close to San Francisco, we get a crap ton of seagulls all over the place. Love them, hate them, doesn't matter, you're gonna see them. There's 2 types of birds that we would get at that school. We would get seagulls and we would get pigeons, both of them terrible. But the seagulls worse, because the seagulls would like to perch along the very edge of the school. And directly down from where they sat is where all the lunch tables were. Somebody really should have thought this out better, honestly. Like, I don't know why they didn't. I mean, there was some benches up along this concrete walkway near the hall, but those filled up really quick. I mean, those at least were under a little bit of a awning, but the rest of them were out in the open. And they were terrible. They were just silver metal. They were freezing during the winter. They were scorching hot during the summer. There was really not much in between, so I hope you brought either your sweater or your sweatshirt, because you were going to need to sit on it to protect your butt. But anyway, I digress. Apparently, most kids knew why you didn't want to sit along or on the tables on the school side of the tables. So everybody would clamor for the opposite side, but I, in my naivete, did not know this. And I had never really firsthand had an incident with it, so I had never really questioned, why does everybody want to sit over there? I mean, it's shady over here, at least. I mean, it's better, I think. So, I'm getting my food all prepped and ready to eat and everything. And I turn away from my food. I don't know, I'm talking to somebody. I think my then best friend was still going to school there. Yeah, she went there through 2nd grade. It was 3rd grade she transferred out. So I had one friend to talk to anyway, and I apparently was, like, looking away talking to her because I did not notice, while I was talking, a freaking seagull that was perched along the top of the school had taken a shit right on my freaking burrito. Now, I hadn't really paused to look at said burrito since unwrapping it. And granted, there were kids who had sauces they were drizzling all over theirs. Some of them had red sauce, some of them had, like, what looked like ranch dressing, and honestly, seagull poop can kind of look like ranch dressing, so I did not question this. I thought it came with it on it. Now, often being the bullied kid in my class, and being the ridiculed butt of all the jokes, the other bitchy mean girls at my table all spotted this the second it happened. Were just like, and just were like dead silent. How this didn't register as a big red flag to me, I don't know. Like I said, I was talking to my friend, therefore did not question it, didn't even notice it. So eventually I'm like, well, I'm gonna eat my food. And I think something on some level registered as being wrong. Not necessarily aesthetically, although I was just like, doesn't look like the most appealing thing. Okay, I mean, how do you eat one of these? Just, like, bite it from the end? Maybe? Yeah? Is it gonna squish out? I don't know. Texturally, it's a little weird. I don't know. And the girls on the other side of the table are freaking watching nonstop, which also should have been a big red flag, but I had made this big point out of mentioning I have never had a burrito before and I don't even know what one is. And apparently they all knew I said it. And they were just like, oh shit, she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know. Don't tell her. Don't tell her. Shh. Shh. I mean, I feel like I even recall there being, like, hush-hush whispers on the other side of the table, but I mean, again, given I was, like, the outcast kid, I wasn't exactly... that wasn't a weird thing for them to do that around me. So, suffice it to say, took a bite of my burrito. And the bird shit, thankfully, was not all the way at one end. It was kind of in the middle of it. So the first couple bites, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And they're just, like, watching. Like, they'll look on their face, and you see their eyes getting bigger and bigger as I'm getting closer and closer to it, right? And I'm just like, what? They're like, oh, is your first burrito good? And I was like, yeah, I guess it's okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I thought nothing of it because apparently I'm stupid. And then I bit it. And the second that I did, I just instantly knew something was very wrong here. Very, very wrong. But at the same time, they're like, yeah, the white sauce is kind of weird, but I mean, it's okay. It's okay. You should swallow it. So I did. And right around that time is when one of the, like, queen bitch mean girls in this class is just like, Jennifer ate bird shit! Keep in mind, this is 2nd graders. This is 2nd graders. And yes, they are using that language. That is, like, the great irony of my going to this expensive private school. I heard way worse language in kindergarten at that school than I ever did anywhere, like, all throughout high school. In a public school. Go figure. But I was just like, "No, I didn't." And everyone on the other side of the table were like, "Yeah, you did! You ate bird crap!" And I'm just like, oh, being little Miss Germaphobe that I have always been from day one, I think in record time, I bolted off to the freaking girls' bathroom. I'm like in the sink, freaking trying to bring up anything I can, spit it out in the sink. I'm like cupping my hands full of water in the sink and trying to like rinse and wash my mouth out. I think I even got some pump soap in my hand and got it in my mouth and more water, just trying to clean my mouth out as if that's gonna somehow do away with the bird shit that I swallowed. You know, somehow in my little kid logic, this made sense. I mean, I was all of 7. I don't know, but regardless, I was major league mortified and grossed out and wanted to hurl. Somehow I didn't. I don't know how I didn't, but God, I wanted to. I spent the entirety of that lunch period in that bathroom just trying to wash my mouth out. I was so disgusted. And of course, these assholes come following in and, you're a virgin, oh my god. And of course, because they're being so loud about it, kids from other grades who happen to be in there are also hearing it, so now I'm just the bird shit girl. Great! Because I wasn't bullied enough already. I just needed another thing to be bullied for. Great! Great! Fuck! And of course, by this time, I'm crying. I think, like, the second they told me I ate bird shit, I was already crying, but it took, like, nothing to make me cry as a little kid. Just, that was half of why I was bullied so much, is you could basically look at me wrong and I would just burst into tears. Like, I guess that was part of the whole abused child mentality thing. I don't know. But, regardless, yeah, I'm like sobbing, trying to wash my mouth out the whole time, just, oh my god. And nobody had enough humanity in them, not even my one friend in the class, to go get a fucking yard duty or a teacher or anyone throughout all this. Nope. Nope. It's just way funnier to make fun of Jennifer for eating the bird crap. Yep. Somewhere towards the end of the lunch period, though, this stayed with me. There's a part 2 to this. It's just really ironic that this is how she and I became friends. This girl from 1 year younger than me, she and I were actually the same age. I found out years later, just her birthday was after the cutoff point in 85, so she was in the grade under me, even though same age. She was also a much bullied kid, too. And little did I know, we'd end up becoming very close friends for many, many years. She's actually the one I made the vlog a few years ago about, oh, my one local friend didn't invite me to her wedding. Yeah, that's her, actually. But anyway, so she comes in, and she has apparently heard about the drama that is going on in the girls' bathroom. And a lot of the other girls have, like, lost interest in this story by this point, because it's been, like, 45 minutes, and yeah, they're bored now. They've moved on. I'm, on the other hand, still convinced I'm going to die because I ate bird poop. And she's just like, are you the bird poop girl? I was like, yeah. Like, in between, you know, washing my mouth out, she's just like, those girls are awful. I was like, of course, with the soap in my mouth and the bubbles, and yeah, you have a whole mental image, right? So it's like that pink hand soap, which you all know exactly what I'm talking about. I am positive of it. So she's just like, you know what you should have done? No, what? You should have thrown up on them. And I was just like, what? like I didn't say it, but just like thinking that just escalated so quickly. Just like, oh, what? That's your solution to this? And I was just like, no, I don't think I should have done that. They're like, and she said, oh, yeah, you should have. It's really easy. And they never would have done it again. I'm just like, still horrified by the fact that I'm just like, wait, you can throw up on command? She's like, oh yeah, want me to show you how? How I did not become a bulimic that day is a fucking wonder, because, yeah, she taught me on the spot. Oh yeah, this was a thing. This was a thing. On the bright side, I saw the bird poop come up, and I did feel slightly better knowing that it was no longer in my stomach, it was out. So, you know, there's that. I mean, I'm sure some tiny amount of it probably didn't, but I mean, still, she's like, yeah, but you should have done that on them. They never would have fucked with you again. It's like, you know, somehow I'm pretty sure I would have gotten in trouble for that, so I'm kind of glad I didn't, but thanks for the point. Like, it was just so uncomfortable. This whole line of thought. And she's like, yeah, you just, like, you stick your finger to the back of your throat and you exhale slowly. I'm just like, there's no way that works. She's like, I'll do it right now. I was like, no, I'll do it. Yeah, apparently it does. But still, I was just like, why do you know that? She's just like, oh, I gross out my sister all the time. Something about that just resonated so hard on such a visceral level where I was like, you know what? I can respect that, because at that age, me and my one sister that I'm closer in age with than the other one, we're still at, like, the height of our sibling rivalry years, and, you know, we have spoken of this on this channel many times, but, not gonna lie, the thought did cross my mind of, you know, that would probably be the ultimate trump card. I could probably win any argument with that. And then I'm thinking of, like, all the other things I could do with this, like, I could get out of school any day I want to because I'm sick. Oh my god! And this just, like, was suddenly the most magical thing to me. It's like, you just taught me, like, the biggest life hack ever. Which is so bad, because, again, in hindsight, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this made us, like, little baby bulimics or something, but without, like, the full-on eating disorder that went with it, which, again, is somehow a wonder, given that it wasn't very far beyond that age. I had issues with anorexia, so, I mean, the fact that it never turned into the other, beyond me, I don't know, but, it's also kind of a wonder that I did that on the spot for how much of a phobia I have of throwing up, and yet here I am doing the thing to get the bird crap out. So I guess my germophobia kind of outweighed the vomphobia. And yet, as disgusting of a thing as that was, she and I ended up friends. We bonded over literally that. Of all the possible things on Earth. Her teaching me to throw up as an act of revenge. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. And I don't claim that it's not. But at the same time, in hindsight, I'm like, keep in mind, I was in 2nd grade. That would make her a 1st grader. And she's teaching me to throw up as an act of revenge on my bullies. I could not make this shit up if I tried. And then a couple of years down the line, I see her in action in the courtyard getting bullied, and she does it on the spot, and they leave her the fuck alone. I was like, oh my god, it actually works. And she actually does it. That's awesome. Granted, I don't think I ever ended up using it for that purpose, but it was just like, holy shit, that is a thing. And for some reason, I just had, like, this crazy mad respect for, you know what, that is batshit insane, but that's also ridiculously genius, not gonna lie. Not gonna fucking lie. So, you know, again, for many years, we were great friends until, you know, Bridezilla hit. It is what it is. She still has me added on Facebook. We don't talk anymore, though, but I mean, gives me hope that maybe one day, maybe. But, yeah, that was the story of how and why I ate bird poop one time. And why, to this day, I just have no interest in burritos at all. Or basically anything in a tortilla, just no, you all can keep those. Just, like, tortillas have a scent. I'm sorry, they do. Everyone tells me, no, they don't. I'm like, yeah, they do. You fucking pick one up and smell it and tell me that there's not a tortilla scent. There is. And that smell is just enough to bring it right back to the forefront of my brain, and I cannot deal. All I can think of is the frickin' bird poop, and I guess because of what I did to get rid of it, conversely, makes me think of throwing up. So it's just like, I really don't want to eat anything in a tortilla, thanks. Just, I'm good. So, oh god, hopefully you guys got a laugh out of my embarrassment and just the absolute, utter disgust of that story. If there's any silver lining on that story, it would be to know that at least I made you guys laugh with it, because that's about all I can do in hindsight is just laugh at that damn story, because otherwise I would probably still cry over it. So, anyways, I noticed that is kind of like how a lot of my stories end up, you know, if I don't laugh at it, I'll cry, but anyway, this is life, so anyhow. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload, leave comments down below. Have any of you guys ever been tricked into eating something completely disgusting and then been told what it actually was? I may be the only one that it happened with this particular thing with, but I mean, I'm sure I can't be the only one who has been conned into eating something gross. And if any of you guys have lived it, leave your stories down below. We'll share in solidarity our disgust. Oh god, or anything else you feel like leaving me for that matter. So, make sure you're following my social media accounts. Again, I know I've been saying it every video lately, but I am doing Inktober this year. Granted, I'm a couple of days behind, but I'm trying to catch up. So I've got the first couple of posts up anyway. The first one was good, the second one's kind of failed, but I mean, you know, you can point and laugh if nothing else. So, but yeah, could be great fun for you guys to watch. Or, you know, just follow them anyway for fun. So, the links are all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. So anyway, guys, till next time, bye-bye.